Hey everyone. So, about a month ago, I made this tweet. Remember this? And of course, I was referring to the World Economic Magazine cover. And I didn't think much of it after that. I made the tweet and moved on with my life. And about a month later, so Thursday, I'm on the bus and I'm listening to a podcast. And I haven't left my house since March, really, because I'm disabled. I can't really move very well. So I rarely listen to podcasts anymore, but on this day I chose to listen to Human Vibration and Rambo's latest free podcast, which just happened to come out that day. So I'm listening to it, and I hear them talk about the boat event that I hadn't really looked into. But Human Vibration says that the gentleman's name was Rosmarin, or something in that area of pronunciation. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, but she said roses, which made me think of this tweet that I made at the beginning of the year, which was at the time the shooting that took place at the hockey rink. And I connected it to Ray J, who's crying blood. Remember that whole scenario? So just remember ice hockey, okay? So I listen to them and I'm thinking about all this stuff and the roses, and I'm trying to think exactly what I said about the roses. So, I'm doing my research and whatnot, and then Rambo says that he had heard and seen on Twitter, and of course I'd seen it as well, is that they were going to cancel these things, this event, the soccer event. And it hits me. Remember this? Soccer player, right here, bottom right, kicking 4 corners of the world. Just as Human Vibration says, 4 corners of the world. And I'm like, yep. So I post that out, it goes viral, and then I get this other tweet, and I post that, it goes a little viral, and I'm like, okay, it's a lot of tweets going viral off of this magazine cover, so what else is here? And then I see it. The Ice Cube. I'm like, wait a minute. Just about a month ago, Drake here in Toronto, I'm not in Toronto, but I'm close enough, so we'll say Toronto. Drake, in Toronto, had this marketing campaign where he was going to let this ice block, melt. Only the city came in and they melted it for him. Still melted. So still an ice block that melted, which is another match to the magazine cover right here. So I sent that out. Of course, that goes viral. Then I see some Met Gala stuff. I'm like, okay, why is Katy Perry wearing this stupid mask? And then it hits me. Wait a minute. I can remember that when Katy Perry was at Coachella with Justin Trudeau, there was a photo that was being passed around of them in red. They were all red. And I made note of it because at that time there was a lot of red going around. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird. I'm going to keep note. So I'm like, okay, so there's a red Katy Perry. There's a Katy Perry wearing the mask. Here's a red robot wearing the same mask. And if we think about it, this box resembles her dress. Huh. Then I noticed Justin over here on the left, the ex-prime minister, casting his fake vote. Pretty crazy, right? Then people start mentioning how this could be a calendar. Now, I had seen that it was a calendar back when we first posted it, because I was one of the first people that posted, and I pointed a few things out, like the Steam controller and all this other stuff. And a few people pointed out that, hey, this could be a monthly or yearly clock. And you can see that the events will take place in each month. Some people even went as far as saying a 13-month calendar. But then that made me think of it like, okay, if we're thinking of this as a whole year's clock, then we can look at the graph that's on it as a yearly graph. And if we think about it, halfway through the graph right now is right at the top of this spike. Everything's about to fall apart. And that, of course, goes viral. Right? It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. And not only that, ice hockey, right? Let's think about ice hockey. So if we go back to the gentleman who shot up the ice hockey rink in Minnesota, and then we think about some of the things that just took place in Toronto with ice hockey. What just happened in Toronto? Well, the Leafs went from number one to the worst, and the Blue Jays went from the worst to the best. And I predicted that the Leafs would have a terrible season, and they did. And then the Leafs get first overall pick with 32, which is the number that started my whole campaign with the birth ritual and all of that. And it all started with a baseball game where I said, look at this sign. It says the citizens are ready. And I said all kinds of other stuff. And ever since that date, all kinds of crazy shit has taken place. There was 6-7 all over that fucking World Series that I pointed out over and over again. There was the ball magic in the wall that we pointed out. There's all these things that are showing that they are doing all this stuff for Toronto. Probably because Toronto is about to get something bad. So with that, I'm going to end it, and I'm going to throw this together for you guys. I just wanted to put that out there because all these tweets went super viral, so I just thought I'd use my words to express what took place, as I do for you here on YouTube. So have a great day, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.